Well, to be honest, the Chiefs-Buccaneers game in last night's showdown was wild. The box score looks great, 30-24 in overtime, another win for Kansas City. But after watching this game 3 times, guys, there's so much more to unpack here. Listen, we all saw the big moments. Mahomes gutting it out after that ankle scare, Kelce absolutely cooking with 14 catches, and that clutch overtime finish. But here's the deal. This game showed us a lot about where the Chiefs really stand in their quest for another ring. You know what's wild? Everyone's focused on their perfect 8-0 start and this 14-game winning streak. And don't get me wrong, that's incredible. But as someone who breaks down NFL film for a living, I spotted some really interesting stuff that most people missed. We're talking game-changing details that could make or break their season. So, grab your coffee because we're about to dive deep into what this game actually tells us about the Chiefs' championship DNA. With the Chiefs' 14-game winning streak capturing attention across the league, it's worth looking back at the journey that brought them here. By reflecting on their massive 14-game success, including playoff victories, we see a level of consistency that most teams can only yearn. It's been a pleasure watching this team week after week, and it's easy to take their winning streak for granted. However, let's not forget, their journey to this point hasn't been easy. Let's look back at some of those games. Remember that close call against the Jets? The defense nearly let that one slip. Or how about that heart-pounding win over the Bills, where Mahomes had to pull off some serious late-game magic? These wins weren't all blowouts, and some took everything the Chiefs had to pull through. That tells us one thing. This team has grit, no doubt, but it also shows they're human. There have been some tight spots that could have gone the other way. And now, here we are, undefeated at 8-0 this season. The Chiefs look like they're on another level. But if we dig a little deeper, we start to see a few patterns and moments that hint at potential weak points. Because while the streak is incredible, the question is, can they keep it going without hitting a wall? And that's what we're here to figure out. Now, let's talk about the hot issue, injuries. We all saw that moment last night when Mahomes went down with an ankle tweak. I don't know about you, but every Chiefs fan watching had their heart skip a beat. Sure, he's tough as nails and powered through it, but let's be honest, an injury to Mahomes is the last thing this team can afford if they want to keep that streak alive. It's not just Mahomes who's taking a beating. Kelce has also endured some big hits this season. Despite his durability, the consistent physical toll of high-impact plays and heavy workload could start to affect him, especially as the season progresses. The thing is, no team wants to admit how much they depend on a handful of stars. But for the Chiefs, that's reality. Mahomes and Kelce are the engine of this offense, and without them at 100%, the road to the Super Bowl starts looking a lot tougher. So as fans, we can celebrate these big wins, but we've also got to keep an eye on these injuries and remember that every hit adds up. This streak is fantastic, but with each game, the risk of injury rises. And if Mahomes or Kelce are forced to miss even a game or two, the Chiefs' season could take a dramatic turn. So now, it's clear that the Chiefs' success is significantly tied to the performance of their star players. And when I say leaning, I mean it's like Mahomes and Kelce are carrying this team on their backs week after week. Just look at last night. Mahomes was everywhere, even after that ankle scare, and Kelce? 14 catches? 14. That's not just a good game, that's a full workload on one guy. Now don't get me wrong, they're elite players, and they thrive under pressure. But here's the deal. Over-reliance on key players is risky business. If defenses start figuring out how to contain Kelce, or if Mahomes has an off day, who steps up? And as much as we all trust Mahomes to find a way, there's only so much two guys can do, especially when they're already playing at max capacity game after game. It's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket. If anything happens to these two, the whole offensive rhythm could fall apart. And sure, we've got talented guys in the mix, but there's no denying the Chiefs' offense lives and dies by what Mahomes and Kelce bring to the table. The table. So, as amazing as this streak is, this over-reliance might be the very thing that ends it. We're talking about a team that, while incredibly strong at the top, might need more support from other players to keep this winning run alive. As we look ahead to the Chiefs' upcoming schedule, it's clear that they face a formidable set of opponents. The next few matchups are stacked with teams that could put this streak to the test. First up, we've got the Denver Broncos, who may not be perfect but are hungry to knock the Chiefs down a peg. Rivalry games are unpredictable, and you know the Broncos would love to be the team to end this streak. The Kansas City Chiefs face a challenging path to extend their winning streak. They will encounter tough opponents like the Philadelphia Eagles and Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams pose significant threats, with the Eagles' strong defense and the Bengals' historical success against the Chiefs. To overcome these challenges, the Chiefs must maintain their momentum, adapt to different game situations, and handle the increasing pressure that comes with their winning streak. Despite a solid defensive performance this season, the Chiefs' defense is not without its flaws, which could become problematic in the future. While the Chiefs' defense has generated pressure and forced turnovers, it has also exhibited vulnerabilities in critical situations. The game against the Buccaneers highlighted these weaknesses as the Tampa Bay offense exploited gaps in the secondary. As the Chiefs face tougher opponents, their defense will need to improve their ability to consistently shut down opposing offenses and limit big plays. Another factor? Stopping the run game. There have been a few games this season where the Chiefs' run defense looks shaky. If they can't plug those gaps, they're going to struggle against teams with powerful ground attacks that can wear down the clock and keep Mahomes off the field. The Chiefs' defense, while solid, has shown vulnerabilities that could jeopardize their winning streak. These weaknesses, especially in crucial moments, could make their path to the Super Bowl significantly more difficult. The team must address these issues and elevate their defensive performance to maintain their dominance. What is even more impressive about this team is their ability to balance the mental and physical toll that maintaining such a long winning streak can have on players. Being undefeated isn't just about skill, it's about handling the pressure that comes with being on top week after week. And let's face it, every team out there wants to be the one that finally takes the Chiefs down. That's a lot of pressure to carry into every single game. The Chiefs' extended winning streak has put immense pressure on their players. Despite their dominance, fatigue and mental strain are inevitable, especially after intense games like the one against the Buccaneers. The team must maintain focus and avoid costly mistakes, as even minor errors can significantly impact their performance. The Chiefs' ability to manage fatigue and pressure will be crucial in determining their success in the upcoming games. At the end of the day, staying undefeated isn't just about skill, it's about stamina. And if the Chiefs aren't careful, that weight could finally catch up to them. The most interesting point is that the Chiefs aren't a secret anymore. Teams are studying them hard and figuring out how to stop them. After all, when you're on a hot streak like this, other teams are going to study your game inside out to find any possible weaknesses. The Chiefs' dominance has made them a target for opposing defenses. Teams are increasingly focusing on containing Mahomes, limiting his mobility, and disrupting his passing lanes. Additionally, they are double-teaming Kelce to reduce his impact. As the season progresses, the Chiefs will face more sophisticated defensive strategies designed to slow down their high-powered offense. This increased pressure will test the team's ability to adapt and execute at a high level. So, as much as the Chiefs have dominated so far, they're going to need to keep evolving and adapting. If they stick to the same game plan week after week, teams will figure them out. And with the level of competition only getting tougher, staying one step ahead could be the key to keeping this streak alive. So, Chiefs Kingdom, a closer look at the real challenges behind this 14-game winning streak. We've seen the grit, but also some cracks that could spell trouble down the line. Here's the big question. Can the Chiefs keep this streak alive and push for another Super Bowl? Or is this the calm before the storm? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this team truly unstoppable? Or are there challenges ahead that might finally break their stride? Stay tuned. This season's only getting started.